Hey everybody, been a long time since I've done a video. I don't really know how long it's been. I think the last thing I've been involved with was the season finale of the Musty Wargamers show. Part of that has been, a couple of people like Rusty know a bit about this, but I've been involved with a work project that has been a long-term project, and it essentially is over. I started over 2 years ago, and it's been a pretty big project, and it's coming to a culmination this September, and now I'm in that sort of phase of it. It's a large business startup kind of situation that basically is requiring a tremendous amount of my time. And a lot of times when I see people say they don't have time to hobby, it may very well be the case. For me, I probably do have time in the day where I could hobby, but the actual chronological time has really nothing to do with the mental energy that I actually have to want to dedicate, just really want to do anything. And so part of that has been that I started to have to work from home within the last couple of months. I think it was end of March, beginning of April, once a big construction component happened in the project, and a lot of my stuff is outside the house, but I'm doing a lot of office work in my hobby room. And so having a shared work hobby space for me has not been a great experience, from the sense that when I have work stuff to do, I can't actually get that out of my mind, like in my hobby space. So that's one component. But then there is just a mental energy. Like, I just find at the end of the day, even though I could like go in and sit down and do something, I've had a number of factors that have just really made it such that I've not wanted at all to do it. And so I'm hoping that I'll be coming out of that, and in the near future I'll be able to separate things better and get back into the swing of things again. But I thought I'd do a little bit of video. I have done, at my snail's pace, a little bit of painting where I have some things in work in progress that I can show. Just show kind of what I've been up to. And if you've been on the Musty Wargamers Facebook page, you would have seen them. But one of the main things I did want to show is actually my something I've done with Armada recently. So for the longest time, and this is a pure gaming thing, not really a hobby thing, but for the longest time, you all know that I really like Star Wars Armada. It's my favorite Star Wars based game, my favorite it's the game I play for spaceship or naval type, big fleet battles, and I love it. Always have loved it, and I've always played the Rebels. For the longest time, I felt like because they may someday cancel the game inevitably, and I would be left with this big fleet of Rebel forces, that it'd be great to invest in the Imperial side. And I always wanted to try to take advantage of a situation where someone got into the game, never really wanted to play it, or for whatever reason was distracted, and then just wanted to give up their stuff, and for a good price. And that's exactly what happened. This has some light use, the actual core box, but what I really was looking for were these, because I got these at a really good deal. So I ended up getting like an actual proper Imperial class Star Destroyer, right there. And then I have a great ship. I know these ships because I've went against them several times. I've never played them before, but I know them through having them beat me down. This is a Gladiator class Star Destroyer, which is a great ship in the game. And then I also, very versatile little ship, if you have the points and stuff to use, is the Imperial Raider expansion pack. So I ended up getting that as well. And they actually, just for 25 Canadian, for those of you in the US, it's like $20. They actually threw in the core set, all the Rebel and the Imperial stuff in the core set too, just on top of it. And so this was just an amazing deal. And I've been waiting for this for a while. I was like, the moment I saw it in a local trading group, I was like, boom, there it is. I've been waiting for this, and I just bought it. Because I've made this leap and sort of building up an Imperial side to my Armada collection of the game. I happened to be at my local gaming store today, meeting a friend over there, and not playing any gaming, unfortunately, but I ended up picking up, this probably can't be seen very well from here, because this stuff is so big. I'm just going to move something. Oh, and there it goes. So, I ended up getting the Introductor. Another cool ship. And I've played against this. Fortunately, only once. I did actually find it really difficult to play against. I thought it was an excellent ship. But for whatever reason, my opponent doesn't use it that much. He didn't really use it that much, but I actually felt it was a really good ship. It's really cool. It has like these gravity wells, and it basically can slow everybody around. It can control the speed of ships around it by actually controlling gravity. I always thought it's just such a cool ship. And so, and then in addition to that, I got a little Imperial light cruiser, which, if I remember correct, it's a ship that behaves in a lot of ways like a rebel ship. It actually fires more from the sides rather than the front, which is a typical Imperial strategy. One of the main tactical firepower differences of the two. And so, yeah. And so now, for those of you that don't know, there's a little Victory class Star Destroyer that comes in the main set. It looks kind of like an Imperial class, but it's just a bit smaller. And so I've got the Victory class, two of them actually, one from my original starter set. Two Victory class Star Destroyers, proper Imperial Star Destroyer, Gladiator class, Interdictor, Imperial light cruiser, Raider. Gosh, I mean, that would have covered me for years, and I've been playing Armada for a while, like, and I collected my rebel ships slowly. All that stuff would have covered me for years of gameplay, in many respects. So that's that. And I'm really quite happy about that. I mean, the only thing I would just say, for the long viewers of the channel, you'll know, I kind of am a firm believer of core games. I have core games, and that can change if you look at it from a painting perspective or from a gaming perspective. I like when it matches up well. But reality is, Star Wars Armada, Saga, and then just sort of my French Indian War gaming are probably like my three main areas of interest when it comes to gaming, pure gaming. And Armada has like no hobby component. I mean, I might paint up I've always said I might paint up my little fighters, and so really those three games are the ones that I just really enjoy playing and always coming back to. And if I actually add, there's another one I could add, but it right now is mostly hobby, and that's Warhammer Fantasy 6th Edition. I've enjoyed the games that I've played, and it will probably join those three to make four, but I do it more as, by far, as a painting hobby right now. I have to get more games in. COVID didn't really help with that. And so this is a game I likely always want to have in my collection to be able to pull out over the years. Like, and be great if in like 15 years I can still like play an Armada Star Wars game, you know, even when like nobody's playing it anymore, and still have both sides. That's the idea, the inspiration behind this. So I'm very happy about that. I still have like a rebel ship that I bought that I don't even think I showed on the channel. Really large, awesome rebel ship. But again, COVID, just haven't really been playing anything. So I was really pleased with this. And yeah, and that's it. That's it for that. One thing I did want to show is, just like I said, I was just going to pan and just show some hobby progress. So I have some burros and badgers that I've been working on. I showed this bulldog on the Facebook page. I'm not doing all my burros and badgers in this scheme, but these models and some that I'll probably get in the future as well. I do want to have an Excalibur-esque pre-Excalibur Knights of the Round Table, like before they became the Knights of the Round Table. If you watch the movie Excalibur and you're a fan, there was a time when, before he actually formed the Knights of the Round Table in Camelot, they all wore like dark armor, and it was more of an oily plate, and it wasn't as bright and shiny as like you would see in the rest of the movie. And I always thought that sort of rough look, and like that, I really always liked that look, that contrast that they had, and I kind of used that to inspire this. I was thinking about calling him Gerwain, but basically, I'm using an oily metallic metal, like for the plate. But I haven't put any washes on this yet, on him yet. But I'm really kind of pleased with the expression and the pink, sort of in that natural look that you see with like bulldogs and stuff. I still have work to do on him, but I am really pleased with the way he's coming out. And then I have this guy, who I'm also really pleased. I did my best to give him jackrabbit eyes. There we go. So I did my best to give him sort of jackrabbit eyes. And again, no washes or anything yet, but I'm really pleased. It's really cool to actually look at pictures of animals like in nature, and like I don't normally do that for wargaming as much. I did that for horses, but it's not something I've typically done for other kinds of wildlife. And then I am working on this mouse, and he will also have the oily steel kind of look, and the same kind, but I'm not as far along. And so I haven't made it a point to paint as much recently. I'm hoping maybe I'll kind of get the energy and inspiration to jump back into it, but at the same time, there hasn't really been a time like this since I've been getting back into the hobby again, since 2012 when I got back into hobbying again. I haven't really had a time in my life like this, and so exactly like this, and so yeah, it is what it is at the moment. So just kind of talking about stuff now, and like going back to the hobby store. I don't spend that much time at the hobby store and chatting with folks and stuff. Like I definitely know that it kind of makes me happy, and I'm happy to be in this hobby. And so there's nothing like that, that is, I know that I see it for what it is. It's sort of like just a blip in time. But yeah, hopefully everybody's summer's going really well. I have had some time to get away a little bit on the weekend and stuff. It hasn't been all craziness, and so hopefully everybody else is also getting some good time this summer in, and hopefully I will see you a little sooner than the last video. For those of you that put up your own content, if I've not been around, I apologize. I'm catching up on videos. I'll do my best, and so talk to you guys later.